Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, sort of an alternate history Endless Legend here, where we're going to try the other thing. We know now an approximate victory pace, a speed to keep an eye on, and if I'm honest, I find this information terrifying. Obviously, there is something to be said about being able to reduce the speed of somebody's approach to victory through military intervention, etc., but turn 94 is very fast. And like, even if we had gotten a spy into the right place, if we gotten a spy into the Draken Empire and we had done that early enough that we could fire off a level 5 science slowdown thing early enough for it to fully matter. I mean, the maximum level of science slowdown is a 40% reduction for 6 turns. Even 100% reduction for 6 turns would not have been anywhere near sufficient for us to get to the end, right? We needed optimistically another 20 or something turns, right? Like, we were not close. And the thing is, even if we had had the army necessary to push them, even if we could have done some kind of massive military move that totally crushes them, like, the other players were still close to blue was the science, like, at very much the same pace. So I'm discouraged. The point I'm trying to make is I'm discouraged. And not just because of everything happening in the real world. Also, the video game is making me sad. So today we're going to try to push for the end of the faction quest. It should take us 10 turns to do this step. It'll be turn 82, and then we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 turns to finish the actual game, and I guess we shall see. I guess we shall see if that is a thing that can happen. I am pessimistic. I gotta say, I kind of hate this faction quest design. I hate that there's a part where it's just like, sit for 20 turns. Do nothing for 20 turns. All right, you're still black spotted. What would you do for me to not be black spotting you anymore? Actually, one thing that I am really curious about, do you consider peace? Okay, peace is good. Peace is adding green to the bar. What can you give me that's gonna be like relevant? Do you have any industry techs? Because an industry tech would do good stuff for us. Native district. Well, okay. I mean, we could get a very small boost to a couple of our sources of strategic income. It's worth noting that a lot of our strategics are coming from fortresses, not from extractors, and silics do not affect fortress income. Just buying 15% damage onto all of our military units does increase our military score and potentially dissuades people from declaring war on us. Maybe. It's not awesome. It's not awesome. Do you have anything else that I care about at all? You do have dust refinery, which I don't have yet. Okay, like industrial processing. Industrial processing matters. Here's the thing. I'm totally willing to trade techs back. I don't think that's a problem at all. Because like green can't win this game, right? I hate that we can't quite get there in 2. Oh, we can. I'll do this. Yeah, hell yeah. And then surprise. So I have to Cold War you first, right? Yeah. Okay, here's hoping this doesn't get us killed. This is the other thing about this plan. I don't feel confident at all that we are going to survive black spotting the Draken, because now that I've black spotted them, it makes a huge amount of sense for them to just turn around and devour us as a way of solving that problem, right? It's been a heck of a... Oof. All right. Anyway, hi, I'm here. I'm present. I'm totally in the space. So we're aiming for 2,700 influence, ideally. Or, I mean, ideally 4,400, right? 27 would be really good. Can we make that happen? 27 is... We have 8 turns, so we need to get 2,000 influence. If we wanted to go for the 37, we're going to have to push up pretty high here. above 400 influence per turn. We have die running already. Out of curiosity, if I move absolutely everybody to influence, like where's my theoretical maximum here? Ingoloth will be completing a national museum this turn, worth noting. I don't really want to move those people if I don't have to. So, I mean, that's not bad. 432 8 times gets us brain 3,400-ish, which would put us short, but not that short. We could move some of the people in Laldora over for a time. Take me to Endortara, because it looks like it doesn't have... Yeah, it totally doesn't. All right, we'll buy that out for sure. That'll help a little bit. And every other city did have it, right? 4. That city's finishing it, and here we actually get 5 because cultist governor. The thing is, we wanna push growth as hard as we can in Laldora because we're gonna need all the bodies on industry. And actually, in Laldora, the next most important thing is the National Craftworks, because we want to get the spices and stuff being double effective on this city. So the cryometric monitor kind of takes a back seat, I think. I mean, we don't need to be in a hurry on this because we're going to have people on food for a considerable amount of time. Also, winter's coming soon. It could actually be any minute now. Subterranean gardens, pretty high priority as well. 22.99, 55, 45. We might be able to buy this out next turn, maybe. We have to be a little bit careful because we don't have nearly the stockpile of resources built up this time that we would like to. And I am gonna go ahead and spend money on that chapel right the hell now, and we can do. Why did I come in here? I'm having a little bit of a brain. It's been a busy day for me. Oh, right. So we still have yet to get access to the Abbey of Anomalies or to the Strategic Intensifier, which is certainly like a thing of interest, right? There are... Okay, so we haven't talked about this very much. I don't think that we've used these in any games prior to now, but it is probably worth thinking about, and it would have been worth thinking about for that science victory too. Unfortunately, like, we were nowhere near. But these are stockpiles that you can build with pearls. They cost 1,200 industry instead of the 2,000 industry that a normal stockpile costs, and I believe they benefit from all of the upgrades, all the stockpile upgrades that you have and stuff. So you can get your stuff a little bit more efficient as well, as long as you're willing to plow pearls into it. And I think that's pretty reasonable. But we're not at the stockpile part yet anyway, and we definitely want to make sure that we have enough pearls to get the extra district types in the capital, and let's keep that in mind, but we'll come back for it later. Okay, so much to do, so much to try to do. And we got to try to keep an eye on what's going on with the other players and stuff. Do we have... Okay, we still have Ofosu in governing position. So what we really want is a Wild Walker, right? A Wild Walker governor for the Tower Victory is way more valuable than any other kind. Are we going to find one? I'm a little nervous. So we're 4 turns off from new hero, 5 turns off from another one after that. Do we just wait for the moment? How developed was Ofosu's skill tree at this point in the game? Okay, so we're close to leveling up again and getting the other half of Double or Nothing, which is certainly valuable. Okay. I think we wait on the hero. I don't think I want to buy, like, bad heroes in an attempt to get us to the, in an attempt to get us a new Wild Walker hero. Although, you know, it's possible. The difference between having a Wild Walker for the purposes of, building your tower and not, even having a really leveled up cultist, is huge. Absolutely huge. So, yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. I was waiting here in case of the eclipse. We did not see the eclipse in the version of the game that we actually played out. I don't know if that's something that's like set in stone at this point. I think I'm going to send our hero down here. There's pearls, and we may actually need everything we can get. That is one pearl, though. That is too much effort for this. What I might do is just break off this hero and wait up here next to, probably there, next to a ruin. And then you, I guess it makes sense to come down here because it's a little bit more like central. We can respond to the appearance of stuff that we want more easily. And you are right where you need to be, and let's hope that we do roll an eclipse this time. I don't really know what the underlying, like, generation mechanics are for that. So the game may have already decided, like, at the beginning of this summer season, that there was not going to be an eclipse before winter. It might not be a thing that could change from you know, alternate history to alternate history. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so Fosu gets there this turn. We're generating 513 science per turn now, which is 3,500, getting us to 4.6k by the time of the Empire plan. That's pretty good. And if we keep building boroughs in all of the non-capital cities, we'll just keep improving that number, right? So we build here, it gets us extra river, it levels up the city center. Each district is worth influence, and then on top of that, each leveled up. Each new district is worth influence, and each leveled up district is also worth influence. So getting it two different ways there. I will finish these science buildings because there's definitely still technology we can pull that will have value. The Borderers Guild will matter. Getting into this era and getting the Imperial News Network is going to matter. Like, it all is going to... Whew, yeah, okay. 4807. I'm going to go one more turn without. I'm just looking at this. I think it would be really difficult to generate 2.5k right now. Buying this out is going to cost us another 2,300, and we really want this done the turn that winter begins, at the very least. And we have so many districts, it's going to be really good. Oh, we still don't have hot houses. It's like, hot houses is a right now priority, as is the first. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. These things are more important. Optimization. What is it? Does anyone know? Has anyone ever even been so far as to find out? That's my question. And, you know, I think it's the question that's on, you know, it's sort of like on all of our lips collectively. You hear people saying it all the time. I do not like how much our dust keeps dipping and then going back up. It really, like, it's very awkward. I assume what's happening is that our trade routes are getting refigured, but, like, that sucks. It needs to not, our dust income needs to not go down dramatically, then get collected, and then go back up. That's a crappy way for that to work. All right, let's get that fertilizer plant down. Let's search some ruins. Okay, build over a total of 11 anomalies in your empire. We are planning to expand the capital's anomaly share, so, you know, something. That's something. I guess go ahead and go down here. If I'm just going to put you in the middle of this area, you may as well. What's the deal with Pink? Does Pink have their borders close to me? No, we're like friendly and stuff. Oh, wait, maybe yes. Yeah, okay. I was going to say there's an awful lot of stuff over here. What about Brown? Brown and I have not gotten along super well. But yeah, maybe we sail over there and search some ruins. We ain't always been the best of friends, but I don't think they'll execute me for being in their land, so, you know, that's something. Or maybe I just maybe I just come home and research this, because we have a lot of stuff we got to buy out in the near future. Oh, I don't have management sciences. I mean, this isn't good, but having it is better than not having it. That's for damn sure. Give myself 2 turns, try to get over here, search a couple of these, then have the endless mechanisms fire and get another search out of each of them. There we go. There's the greed. I found it. All right. So Laldora's science output is getting, or science food output is getting pretty real. Pretty fast. We are going to expand into more anomalies over here, so that's good. And the Draken haven't killed us at all yet, which is something. Nope. Don't care to do. Well, you know what? Maybe I absolutely should have done that though. If we're gonna run over there and search ruins and whatnot. Maybe. Listen, who needs to have plans and good ideas when you could just play the video game the way I do it, which is, you know, questionably. So we want to be increasing the industry output capacity of the other cities as well, because we want them all to be able to put industry towards stockpiles that we can send home. Now, obviously, gaining more territory is an important way of doing that, and it does also help with influence, but if this doesn't complete until turn 79, its effect on influence is pretty negligible. So maybe I should just be doing like production line stuff. Just be like really working hard on the ability to produce stockpiles when it comes to it. I don't actually know if it makes more sense to focus on population growth or this kind of stuff first. Over the course of an infinite span of time, obviously population growth first is critical, but we don't have that. That's not the place we're in. So 2.6k. I might be able to generate 2.6k off of this much strategic stuff. Let's try it. I had to get to 4. We can make a pretty decent amount right off the top of these last 4 strategics, and I don't want to sell too much. But never mind, it wasn't a problem at all, in fact. Actually, everything's fine. Can I make another 1,300? I guess that depends on the value of titanium. And we're no longer as, like, critically bound by titanium, so I don't feel as bad selling it. These are still pretty valuable. Be super helpful if people would just like buy a little bit. None of this stuff is valuable, right? The luxuries are never. Yeah. Well, hold on. I was looking at that with a weird number on the scale. Okay. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. 2K. 2K is maybe unrealistic if we don't want to go really low on stuff that we actually are going to have a hard time replacing. Well, we are pulling 10 glass steel a turn. But, like, when we finish the Imperial News Network, we're going to want to build one everywhere, and, like... we are pulling 10 a turn. I'm gonna do something potentially unwise for the purpose of running some stuff out here. It is feeling to me like we are probably not getting that eclipse. But who knows? Winter could be a long time from now still. All right, no big exclamation points delivered by any of the other players yet. That's good news. The spices have run out, which obviously cannot be allowed. Oh, good. Yeah, we're totally safe on that. It is 30, right? Yes, okay. Cool, even more food. Seems like a no-brainer. Okay. This would be a really good place to put down, what do you call it? The anomaly district. But I guess we don't have to. If we end up putting down a normal district here and then we build out, we could just as easily Abbey of anomalies right there as well. It would be fine. So, yeah. Okay. This city could use... I mean, like, does it make more sense? It's as much as I want to get production lines up everywhere, if it's going to take me 7 turns to build the hothouse, it probably doesn't. I'm gonna focus on the production lines. By the time the hothouse is finished there, it probably won't. We won't have enough time to, like, really benefit from it. If the game keeps us to the schedule we have seen in the past. There's no extractor on this glass steel. What the hell? Gosh, this city doesn't have all kinds of things. And yet. Okay, so was this the turn that heroes are... well, we do not have a Wild Walker. Yeah, okay. Check back next turn. Fingers crossed. So we do have a little bit of money. Do I want to just go ahead and push through the subterranean gardens so that we have it the turn winter strikes? I don't know how this is going to calculate is the thing. I don't know where in the beginning of turn structure winter begins, so I don't know if the subterranean gardens benefit will occur on the first turn of winter or if you have to wait until the turn after because winter begins after food is harvested for the turn, right? Could be the case. I think I am just going to go ahead and rush this. We'll continue to focus all of our dust on the development of Laldora. Yeah, okay. Endless mechanisms in 2. How are we doing over here? Okay, we'll get a couple more ruins before that happens. And then immediately research them all. Good and normal and hopeful. That's how the stuff is today. How's this war going? Without green being black spotted, is the... No, the answer is no, things are not really changing. I was kind of thinking there was a possibility that blue would turn on the Draken as soon as, you know, blue is allowed to attack them in their own territory. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. That's bad, but it's not necessarily that bad. It might screw up our empire plans, though. Or our, what do you call it? Empire plans. Our empire plans. So, I do not have an option. I do have to do this. Reblack spot. It is very expensive to do that. Yeah, 5 more turns. Okay. So right now we're looking at 3 turns of 1,500. We should still just about get there. Yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. I shouldn't have to move anybody from Laldora. Which is good, because I don't want to. So it looks to me like it's probably not a good idea to go for that ruin. And I think we're still allowed in your territory, although it's not safe anymore. Oh, well, it turns out I will not reach the thing anyway. So you may as well just stop there. You're fine where you are. You are... Oh, I guess we're about to hit endless mechanisms. Right, so I should have turned you around because you have a lot of sea ruins to search. And this time, I'm not afraid of finding random technology. This time it would be okay. Yeah, so y'all... Okay, you. You get to search at least one. Why don't people install more ruins in their territory, I ask you? Cool, 40 spices is actually quite good. Yeah. 2.2k. I am going to go ahead and rush that. So here comes endless mechanisms, and with it, potentially... Okay, also winter. It's interesting timing. Brown is going to get real cross with me if I steal their pearls. You know, allow you of all people, obviously. Get very upset with you about a thing like that. There are no pearls right around you. I wanted to come up here because there's a pretty good density of sea ruins up here. But also maybe our lord can just get those. You know what? Turn around again. Around. Did we get the good? Yes, we did get the good winter effect. Actually pretty relevant. Are we still 100% fervent in all cities? Yes, we are, even with the additional unhappiness. This is whatever. That's 150 dust. That is... Right. Turn 78. Turn 78 is when the first notification fired for both of them, and it took them until turn 94 to finish it. Cool. That's great. I'm so glad that that's how that ended up. I shouldn't steal people's pearls, because I shouldn't get war declared on my face. Right? That makes sense. So I do want to do this, at the very least. Let's get... Is Winterborough worth getting? I guess it depends on how long this winter is, and the answer is it could be quite long indeed. Probably should have prioritized that. I didn't, though. And it makes a huge amount of sense for us to do this. Yeah, let's get that corners and build out and... Okay, grass silk, not really all that exciting. Gotta go grab this. It's 3 pearls. Alright, I'm not gonna risk war over 3 pearls. We'll sail north from here. Alright, let's make sure we grab the Borderers Guild. But actually, I would rather grab stuff that's from earlier eras, right? The Borderers Guild will get a significant discount when it's no longer a current era tech. Oh, I should... Yeah, obviously. Obviously. And... We could get some of this searching done a little bit faster using the Bradecki. I know we won't level up Captain Fungus quite as quickly this way, but also, like, who's got all this time? Speaking of captains. No Wild Walker. Okay. 2 more turns until another one falls off the market. I mean, like, at this point, if you can't build your own Wild Walker Lord, I guess store-bought is fine, but, like, it makes me nervous. I'm not going to be able to get those pearls, right? Maybe? Okay. Yeah, then do it. Hi, blue guys. This is my ocean, in case you weren't aware. Feel free to get out of here. Feel free to get out of my way. And yeah, all that stuff. All that stuff's good. Okay. Good is strong. All that stuff is acceptable. We need so many pearls. And then we're going to want to have pearls left over for stockpiles, presumably. I mean, we don't have to do it that way. The savings on the stockpiles is pretty significant, though. Alright, welcome to the penultimate era after other players have started clearing victory attacks. You know how it is out here. So, yep. People just out taking my pearls, because of course they are. Wait, can't I? Oh, there's a cliff here that I didn't see. Shoot. It's actually not, it is not easy to get off of this landmass without grabbing pearls. You know what? You know what? You know what? No. We're just gonna, this is what I should have done in the first place. Unassign, reassign, teleport you home. Alright, Endom continues to get stronger. More science is broadly good. I could have juiced Endom's influence thing, I suppose. That would not have been a bad idea. The red saying must never stop. Oh, I didn't shoot, and I totally meant to. I didn't buy the Dust Orchid. Is there Dust Orchid? Can I? Okay, yes, absolutely there is. Was it 4 more? 4 more. Yeah, I totally meant to refire that. That's goofy. Goofy play from me. I'm gonna fire this while we're here. Just to finish this quest that's not gonna matter, but, you know, influence. And also to get those military numbers up. You gotta, you know, you gotta pump those numbers up. They're rookie numbers in this racket. 71 titanium. So just don't spend any titanium for a couple of turns to get very paid. Might be doable. Might be doable. I'm gonna dip into their territory and loot some stuff. But remember, while we're at Cold War, that's not a safe thing to do. So down in Laldora, we are not spending titanium for a second here. We're just gonna build a burrow, which is no big deal, just a little burrow here. Wait a second. Before I go doing that, though, is this the era that has the... Yeah. So we're gonna want advanced quarry. And we're going to want to expand over sites of strategics to get benefit from it. I'm gonna grab Imperial News Network first, but like we wanna, at the very least, we want to reach out and grab this tile for later, and that's probably gettable too. And it's right next to some. Yeah, we might not build out this way actually. We'll see. So yeah, Imperial News Network. We got all these plans. We got all these hopes. Empire plan time, and we have enough influence. We can refocus our cities now. And in fact, we overdid it by enough that we, I'm losing pearls over on the road. Probably more important than whatever's in that ruin. I'm never going to get to this. We could close our borders to blue. Probably have the influence for that. We're allies, though. Shoot. Right. No, I can't. Fine. Fine by me. You know, whatever. Okay. So we get this. We get some of that. Some of that's pretty good. We get one of those. One of these, maybe? Yeah, okay. I'd rather have just like the extra money. That's a big empire plan. Okay, that thing ended. That's fine. So this is Laldora. Oh, because I finished that build already. Where does it make the most sense to build out from? I guess if I build out along the coast, we can grab a couple more ocean tiles. Those are high value. Yeah. Yeah. Seems good. Science stockpile, no reason to wait. I think it makes sense to go ahead and build this. Go ahead and throw this in there, because that's going to be essentially free. Sure, canal system, why not, while you're at it? Like, and then we'll just roll over the rest of this industry. Show me Wildwalker. They didn't do it. They showed me other stuff. Well, you know what? We should... It's not really a good one available. But we should do something. Alright, and I need to get Vision of a Draken City, which is a thing that can happen. Oh, they didn't steal my pearls. Maybe they won't. Maybe. Let's not feel any kind of confidence. Alright, cool. Finding a lot of nothing. I love to... Oop. That's 4 pearls. That's something. That matters. That's big. Okay, those ruins over there have some stuff in them. We can go get that. Hell yes, 10 pearls. Hell yes. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay. She has hopes. She has dreams. How's all this going? Nobody has pushed to 40 yet. Sure doesn't take them long once they start focusing on it, though, huh? I mean, planting a spy is gonna... it's gonna be a nightmare no matter how we do it. Nightmare time. Okay, we want to move all of our people back over to important stuff. Like this. Well, okay, so like here's an interesting question. Is it feasible for me to still get an endless technology? Because if so, maybe it makes sense to go science focused in every city except the capital. In the capital, we still keep pumping population, and that's growing very quickly. But we try to push for the industry endless tech, maybe. It's probably not actually that much more productive for them to rush. You know what? I think that's right. Let's try it that way. We will do our level best, and our cities are pretty good at science output. We'll do our level best to get into the era and do the thing. We're just developing a little bit differently in some places, is all. Yeah. All right. It is plans. Hello, welcome to plans. I have them. And they're definitely like good and thought through, and I have done all of the math. Every last bit of it. Did that number increment already? All right, we're close. We're close. No, we're going into 81, right? It'll end on 82. Okay. The roving clans are 30% on their dust victory. We know from experience that can accelerate. I am not doing that. Was it 5 adamantium they were offering me? What the hell? It's insulting is what it is. Okay, we probably will never need influence again. Not that we'll never need to make a deal, but you know, we have a lot of influence income already. Don't you get in my way. Don't you block me. Okay. Exceptional alloys. That's a shame. It would have been cool to find the weapon or the armor version of that. Exceptional alloys, not going to do very much for us, unfortunately. Can you grab? Yes. Just leap out here and grab these. Oh, hey, it turns out there's a ton of pearls out here. Well, okay then. You know what? We release another Bradecki. Just like they say in the movies, to go and grab this stuff on land. Because there's kind of a lot going on over here. Give me some of that. Give me some of this. And here in Laldora, where everything is getting built all of the time, we continue to build things all of the time. Because of course we do. What else would we do? That's what we do. Okay. Buy out the borough, work on the Imperial News Network. Good stuff. It's possible Brown might get a little touchy about some of those pearls, but they're clearly they're on my side of the line. We can all see that. Oh, this thing, don't care about that. That is not relevant at all. Let's search this ruin and then get in the ocean. 40 dust water? Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. The thing about that is I love dust water. We can probably go back and grab like automated production. We're probably not right at the place to build this just yet. Although I guess, you know, with our rate of science output, it's all going to come down pretty fast. That's the way of things here. Should you actually sail out? Yes. Probably yes is the answer. Yeah, go do this. We got enough bodies on land. This stuff will get cleaned up. Okay, I think I may have stopped you in lightning. I do apologize. You're gonna feel that one. Does fungus conduct electricity? Probably not, right? So wood's not a good conductor. That's plant life. Fungus, mushrooms and trees are not probably all that similar. Still no. So worse deal now than it was last time. Alright, what's up next? Control Tid and Kalal at the end of a turn. Tid and Kalal. I do not know the names of our ocean regions. Kalal, yes. Is Tid really? Okay. Well, look who suddenly needs influence again. Here's the thing. I got Tex. You want him. You got Tids. I want him. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. What do I got to do to get my hands on, etc.? You want to trade? You want to trade? You want an ocean trade? I'll do that. I'll do it. Don't think I won't. Okay, how about this? How about... What's the name of that ocean that's like way south? Ardim. Would they value Ardim in the same neighborhood? They don't. It does kind of seem like they're just saying they'll never ever make this trade, which is was a lot of fun. Because, like, that ends our ambitions right there. Yeah, they will literally never make this trade under any circumstances. Well, that's the game then, folks. Unfortunately. Yeah, so we still hit a roadblock, it turns out. I am really curious. So, if I remember correctly, this is the one that required us to be in control of these ocean regions at a season change. And then we would have to build the tower. I mean, okay, what if I did declare war on them? No, I mean, obviously. No, they have an infinite number of ships. So, Well, you know, I do have a thought here. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, hello, welcome back. I cheated. I mean, sort of. What I did was I reloaded the autosave from the previous turn and just played the turn again to see if it would roll us 2 different ocean regions, and indeed it did, and these 2 are both ones that we totally own. Am I going to feel bad if I win like this? Oh, of course, but that was already the case because I chose a strategy and it didn't work, and then we went back to choose something else. But I think, like, it's a good illustration of how difficult it's going to be to win on this, like, the degree of luck that it's going to take to win on this difficulty, even beyond, like, even if I play well, it is still going to require a tremendous amount of things just going right. And yeah, so there it is. so I rolled us back. I did a little time travel, and now we can actually complete this step of the quest. Mostly, I'm just really curious if it is even theoretically possible for us to win this game. Okay, so that's happened. Obviously, some stuff happened slightly differently. We, got different things from the ruin searches. One of the things that happened was we got this quest. Okay, so this thing, we got 30 dust water. This is obviously not going to happen because the game will not go to turn 100. The moonleaf has run out. Can we buy more moonleaf? We can. I'm just gonna buy all of it, whatever. It's not worth the effort for me to type a different number. Okay. So. Did I? No, I didn't put my spy in anywhere because I was gonna wait until I could see a Draken City. That's right, that's right. Can we make that happen this turn? I mean, I could become friendly with them again, I suppose. Hey, Draken. You don't have to be black spotted. How would you feel about that? And you do want to be peaceful with me. How about you give me a technology for us to make these things happen together? Like, do you have anything that I actually want? Probably not. Rare armor would have some value to me. But I don't want to give you science text to make it happen. So let's just, how about, like, central market? Sure. Okay. And then once we're at peace, like, can I just do, what if we just did a vision exchange? And that way I didn't have to run over. Okay, it's going to be expensive. What they're telling me is they want the universe. Well, I mean, this isn't so bad. Give them, like, 10 glass steel and all of the pixie blood that I don't even want anyway. And that lets me do this thing with my spy, and okay. Okay. You know, worth pursuing. Alright. So, let's try to push on to the end from here. Oh, one other thing I did that was different. I decided to research scientific specialization as our first thing in this era because, of course, like, if we're still going to try to get that industry tech, it doesn't help us to get the industry buildings right now. We wouldn't even build them right now. But the science buildings are more helpful the earlier we can get them, and we're putting ourselves in a really good position to get really good value out of them. So let's do that. Okay, what else? What else? Ingulath. Probably? Maybe. Probably. Gotta get the science somewhere. So I was going to have you sail over here and try to get a hold of this stuff. You probably shouldn't do it by sailing into the lightning storm. You are going to sail over here and grab me some, what do you call it? Some ruins. There we go. Them's the words. 180 dust, perhaps not exactly what I was hoping for. You're just headed back toward the ruins. So yeah, that stuff aside, you know, things didn't really change very much here. It looks like maybe I never sent out the other... It's fine. This Berdeki can handle it. Okay, your movement always calculates slightly incorrectly, and I have no idea why. Okay, is there anything else that we want to grab right now that might have an effect on the rate at which we approach? No, I don't think so. So this is the time to go back and get well. Oh, but we don't have very much. Yeah. Titanium. Well, okay, get it. We'll figure it out. Then we're gonna want this. Yeah, okay. We don't need to plan too much further in the future here. And all of these processing lines are going to go kind of unused for a while at the very least. They will become relevant again. So what is the next step of the thing? It's control the same ocean regions at the end of at the season change, right? Yes, while keeping control over the 2 ocean regions, make sure you have at least 2,000 dust. So, like, that could happen next turn. Well, no, it couldn't. It could happen in 2 turns. Or it could happen after the other players have won the game. So much luck. There's so much luck coming off of this plan. And we were really booking it up the old faction quest here too. I'm starting to have some serious feelings about whether or not this is gonna be doable. So yeah, we want Imperial News Network pretty much everywhere, but I don't know that I necessarily want to actually build it. Like, it's going to be a pain to build everywhere. The large-scale aquatic center is going to be pretty good in some places. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeesh. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of yeesh. 4533. So to be clear, I am building this in the capital, even though the capital is not in science mode, because I did come over here and look, and even with all of the other cities hardcore devoted to science and the capital not devoted to science at all, it is still like almost quadrupling their output. So this is the right place for it. Okay. We can generate another. We got to get it to 45. We can do that. We can do that. So we don't really need this stuff right now. That's going to get us most of the way there pretty trivially. The glass steel turns out not to be the limiting factor on the ability to construct the news networks everywhere. Yeah, let's rush that along. We'll get this stuff figured out. Okay. So, I was looking at picking up Winterboro. I think I'm going to not. Because in order for the Winterboro to have very much value to us at this point, the winter has to last a considerable amount of time. And if the winter lasts a considerable amount of time, we're actually already dead. It literally does not matter what we do. We will lose the game. So, no, sorry, I was trying to select these to move them up. Okay. Huzzah. 30 Dustwater. I don't think Dustwater was one of the ones that we needed more of, but, you know, stuff. Yeah, so I think like we gotta play to the one out we have left, which is that the winter ends as soon as it possibly can end, right? So we're not gonna buy that. Are we just from here going to save pearls for pearl hoarding? Are we going to hoard the pearls for the pearl hoarding? We could pay 20 pearls to put down Nyctalopian lenses in the capital for an extra couple hundred science per turn. It's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth it. Probably don't need strategic intensifier. No, no, we're not gonna, well, you know what, actually, though, strategic intensifier, this is a really good time for it, and titanium is a high value resource. Ah, right. Oof, it is 30 pearls to do that. I mean, we're still getting pearls from here, but like, it's not that much extra science. We're gonna save. And then I guess get back on land. So winter could end as soon as the end of this turn that we are now coming to. If it does, we start pounding on the build the tower plan immediately, and we have like 9 turns to get it done. That's not impossible. I think we've seen 9 turns before. Okay, the roving clans have started building it too, but like, yeah, there's only so much I can do, you know? Oh, actually, you had 2 skill points there. Yeah, I guess more dust, more buyout power, right? Okay. Probably not going to happen. Seems unlikely. Okay, 5176 to buy out the Climatology Guild. Not something that we're going to be able to generate by selling resources right now, I don't think. And I don't probably want to spend dust anywhere else, but what we can do is search some more stuff and maybe even find a thing occasionally. Alright, do that stuff. We got Dust Orchid. Dust Orchid is useful. Sometimes. Well, my mouse cursor's right here. Okay. Okay. I don't know that I could have made that any less ambiguous for the game, but fine. Okay, 150. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, how many more technologies do we need? Still 4, huh? Okay, well, what's left back here that would be relevant to this cause? So, stuff that gives science, stuff that gives industry, stuff that gives food? You know? Aquacultural science will matter. It could be a point of population. Buyout power, I guess, is relevant, and that's pretty high. Dust output. Not the rest of this does not matter very much. Oh, we still need advanced quarry. For sure we need advanced quarry. And we're going to want marvelous armor because that gives you the trinket that has the industry on it. So, yeah. That's the plan. If we don't get into winter pretty quick, we are for sure out of it. And again, this is a thing where it's just like, we need a huge amount of luck. Oh. Okay, they've given us the huge amount of luck. That's I mean, all right, we get to take the most shot at this that we could. So is the okay. Yes, we got the Temple of the Earth's Core right now. We've also learned no more ties. That's pretty fucking good, actually. Okay, well, I don't want to say that this is what hope looks like, but only because I'm afraid I will sound silly, because that is what I mean. Look at my units all having legs that are good for moving. Isn't that fun? So I guess I don't really need you. Well, you know what? You know what, though? We do have a lot of people, or we do have a lot of sea ruins yet to search. Maybe you are now ocean unit? Just go jump in the sea, but like in a nice way. And you can, yeah, contemplate getting up here and maybe searching some ruins in the Northlands. You found us 150 entire dust. Can you believe it? Like it's my birthday or something. I'm really pleased that we're going to get a shot at this. I don't necessarily think that we're going to be able to do it, but I think that it's like, I would always have wondered, you know? Does it make sense to, it doesn't really, like, there's nothing for you to take that can matter. Continue to be an ingenious admiral? Get vision. How about, no, that's reinforcement positions. Well, get that then, because I'm tired of playing around in this skill tree. Okay, so we do have to start the construction of the tower now. The rest of the cities have to keep pushing time as best they can. But we are done with... Oh, actually, this makes me want to rearrange... no, not actually. Here, yeah, like we can... This can wait. But yeah, these other texts need to get done. Okay. I wasn't optimizing well for this. That's on me, for sure. So... 35 might be able to 35 seems potentially doable. So let's definitely build here. I built my abbey already. Okay, 35. So we're gonna be buying some stuff out in the capital for a second, but like we can definitely afford to. I'm probably not actually gonna build very many of those dust buildings that we're working on. Really, the value of Hyperium is, wow, yeah, Hyperium's super low. People are selling hard on Hyperium. All right, let's get that done, because that's going to be a fair amount of extra science coming out of this city. This is 2-5. We'll just pick it up next turn. And it is time to jump everybody onto industry. 27 is a bad number of turns. We need to build at the very least these things. These things are going to cost us 1724. Maybe we can trade somebody who has a bunch of dust. Just a guess. Okay. Friend. Let's talk about the dream. So... like 35 for these, 6k in total. 6k for the next big push. And then obviously there's a lot of little stuff we can buy out around the edges. But yeah, 6k for the big push would be optimal. Can I whittle 6k out of you with various goods. Because I have stuff. Like, I would gladly trade you all my technology. Okay, this is not... Nope. 6K, we're not even in the universe. Out of curiosity, 1705? Okay, so yeah, we're not even going to be able to get the price of one of those techs. We could do market sales. Seems like it probably makes sense to wait until next turn to do that, though. So if we're going to have a turn of... I mean, it makes sense to put the turn of building into the temple. Just buy stuff out. We'll just buy stuff out. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody stop panicking. Okay. So, the other cities need to be in stockpile mode probably immediately, like right now. No. No, the other cities need to finish the science move. I think. Think that makes more sense? I mean, it's looking bad either way. Obviously, we'll have to see what the numbers look like once we actually have the industry buildings built. And we can buy them out both this turn pretty easily. We only have to generate a few hundred dust through sales, which obviously is like extremely doable. That number's really a lot higher than I was hoping to see. It's true. It's true, I did it. I accept? Why would you want a technology at this point? That's not even a tech that's good for you. We have successfully engaged in industrial espionage by giving them a technology when they should not want one. They do not have access to the market anymore, which is funny. Solid moves from the market player, the roving clans player. Okay, buying those two things out's going to help a ton. City gets a food stockpile. That gets us another point of population instantly, which is awesome. Then this other stuff is like less critical, but still, like these are super cheap, right? And that is extra food. It could help with the birth rate. Little bits matter. $263. I mean, obviously we can make another sale pretty easily here. Okay, all that stuff. I mean, yeah, like part of this is just the difference is really huge. The difference between a developed Wild Walkers city and a non-Wild Walkers city is really huge. There is no substitute for that thing that Wild Walkers do that makes your city that makes the buildings in your city cheaper. That you can, I guess, come over here for this. Yep, quest victory not on the table. But the thing is, though, what if it was? 6 units of level 4 led by a hero of level 9. I do not have 6 units of level 4. We could build them. Yeah, not on the table. I was right the first time. I don't know. Build a center for mineralogy. Just jam that out real fast. And then congratulations on being the science capital of the Empire. Yep, I think so. So the quarry is going to be good. It's going to add 100 raw industry to this city. I'm really curious to see what this number is going to do. 1878, 25 turns on the Temple of the Earth, becomes, with all those buildings finishing and that tech finish. Oh, sorry, we don't. Advanced Quarry doesn't do it. The building from Advanced Quarry does it. We still do see a jump of a considerable number, and as such, Temple of the Earth doesn't really lose that many turns, which I'm pretty disappointed about. Really need that number to come down more. The good news is the Advanced Quarry won't take too long to build. It's about to be time for the eclipse. What are we going to do with an eclipse in this situation? I don't know, man. I'm going to level with you. I got nothing for you. I do not know. Okay. The buyout on this is harsh. I would need to generate 2,000 dust right now. I don't think we can do that this turn. We can do this. But we do need the quarry done. I mean, I hate to put the quarry in front of... the game also hates for me to put the quarry in front of the thing. Building this is going to take probably more than a turn off of the temple, though. And we still need to be buying out the other stuff, too, because the city has to be growing all the time. Oof. Oof. How bad is it? The answer is, it's pretty bad. Well, go ahead and buy that out. Search those ruins with a level 4 hero? I mean, alright. I guess you're not really doing anything. You're level 4, right? Yeah. Well, welcome to the sea. Oh, right, it spawns hostile boats. Retreat. Who knows what'll happen? Well, they got me. Back on the land we go. Is it 3 reasonably statted fire ships? You know, they're not nothing. They're not nothing. That's actually a real danger to the Vors. So that's fun. We're cool now. We're at peace. For the moment. Cool. Nothing. Fun. Always what I'm looking for. $50 blood crystal is fine. And then you're kind of out of stuff to do up here. And I guess get down here and make sure that we have actually grabbed all the pearls we can grab. Because we got to finish this. Man, we had so much stuff to do. Finishing the tech is probably not actually reasonable, right? I wanted to try it, but it's going to take... Yeah, it's not actually doable. So we get the time down to 17 turns. We got the industry text that we needed. Those are important. But I think it is time to swerve. We're just not, we don't have time to get the endless tech done. And that is a shame. But we got all of the other techs we need. So I am going to kick every city now into industry mode. We're going to get good use out of the fact that we built all those production lines. We're also going to finish a lot of these Imperial News networks really quickly. And then we're going to, wow. They covered a lot of ground really quickly there. And then we're going to produce stockpiles, and we're just going to try to stockpile push here. Oh, also I did this apparently. Are these... Okay, red declare. Ooh. Okay, a declaration of war from them is pretty bad. Maybe get out of their territory. Yeah, the declaration of war from red I'm a lot less concerned about in total. Declaration of war from the Draken could be the end of the game by itself. And I mean, I guess we had to expect that it was coming. What do I do about it? Is there anything I can do? We kind of just have to weather. Endom can start taking combat skills, I guess. That's not awesome, but yeah. Let's try to get the city garrison in fighting shape. We don't know for sure that they will actually move units in effectively, right? They might not. And if they don't, then... It's not good. No version of this is good. I think I kind of want to stop searching ruins now too, because like at this point we're not going to find a thing. Like if we find a victory tech, I guess it won't matter because, you know, we have other problems. Okay, so 4-turn stockpile, 3-turn stockpile. It probably makes more sense to just rush these than to rush anything in the capital this turn, right? Like, let's make sure these get done, but 4-turn stockpile. Wow. Really, really fast, actually. Yeah. Do I even want to bother finishing the Imperial News Network? We might be better off just plowing through these pearl stockpiles. Just checking. No natural. And we're boosted as boosted can get. Mining rights is just resources from extractors. Don't care about that. We do want to keep getting industry. This gets us another anomaly, and it's actually a pretty good amount of total industry, so we'll just buy that out next turn. Yeah, because we want to obviously pour as much industry directly into the temple as we can. And I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see if they come for us. Because if they don't come after us, then we can just, you know, keep working. I don't feel great about that declaration of war. Is there a version of this where I can get them to back off? I'd be willing to do something, you know, crazy here. Okay, well, the answer is no then. What if we start coughing up sea regions? If I give them half of the sea, they'll back off. I guess, okay, let's wait and see if they actually come across the border with an army. Because if they don't, we can maybe just try to, like, ride it out. Yeah, getting the tech done it's unreasonable. It wasn't necessarily a bad idea to go for it, and we do benefit from getting all those other techs faster, but yeah, there's no way we're going to do that. But, you know, maybe spending dust on boosting Laldora's size doesn't make sense, because we do need to get the stockpiles going. Oh, cool. Let's try to do that. Okay, declaration of war from Brown. Sure. y'all come home? Like, beefing up the garrison of the home city seems relevant. Alright, 10% everything. Good stuff. Boost it, boost it, boost it. Boost it, sure. The thing about all these numbers is they go up. Oh, sorry, you had 2 skill points. Hooray! Is it combat time? It is Siege of City time. Okay. Nortara dying is obviously very bad for us. Truce? I hate when it rearranges the stuff on the screen. Hold on, something there is in the wrong direction, but whatever. Oh, he did actually launch the attack before the... Well, whatever. I'm not going to spend actual real-world minutes fighting over it. Oh! The city survived, somehow. Urkins. Okay, well, cool. Okay, not happening. Monsters feels judgmental. Yeah, like giving technology to Red is not increasing their ability to win the game at all at this point, right? They're a complete non-player. Okay, so in 3 turns we'll have the ability to drop the bigger decreased science. And you know, I will say, we have not seen... Yeah, we haven't had a third victory tech notification from either of them this game. Although actually, that's maybe our realist problem. And I think not one that we can interfere with even a tiny bit. They're trading with me. I guess I could nuke the trade routes. But... And it doesn't really harm us to do so. Yeah, there's no way we're getting that. Yeah, it doesn't really harm us to do so. But it's not going to harm them that much either, right? And it's just going to give another player a reason to get mad at us. Which is, like, not right now, not a thing that I need. Yeah, bad news, y'all. Okay, well, if I don't care about finishing the victory tech anymore, then I think this becomes much more reasonable. You have the ability to travel quickly to here, to search a ruin. You, I don't have any plans for. Did Brown declare war on me? Because if they did, I can just run up in their territory and search ruins, and there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, they totally did. Well, this is the price they pay. I'm going to do a thing that doesn't harm them in any way. Activate 3 Titan Bone Boosters in the next 3 turns for a tech I don't want. No, thank you. I am going to grab your Swift Conflux, though. And then you know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to use it to steal pearls right out of your territory. That's the world you've put yourself in. Maybe you'll think, why do I have so much dust water? Why do I have so much dust water? Alright, I'm stealing those pearls too. Just kind of general principle kind of thing. Okay, so we need to buy out a stock. We need to start pushing, like, now. Now abouts. Or perhaps earlier than now. Okay. So we'll have a stockpile up next turn. Then the turn after that, another one gets finished. Okay, so we're in a place to run infinite stockpiles. Really concerned about a dust victory that we can't stop. I really can't affect that at all. I would have to go to war with them and take cities. Or alternately, I guess, convince everybody else to go to war with them. What if they had no trade routes? The answer is their cities, I'm sure, are producing a huge amount of dust. But maybe we convince everybody to go to war with them. So this will give us a better indication of the time. 9 turns. And I think that's probably... Yeah, that's a sustainable rate. So we finish 1 stockpile next turn, 3 more the turn after that, another 1 the turn after that. There's an embargo, that's fine. Declaration of war from Pink is also fine. That's not going to matter at all. Get in the garrison. Congratulations, you did it. You stole the pearl. Now get back home, because I didn't finish searching this ruin. I only searched it once. Yep. I mean, that hero's dead. We were pretty sure. Yeah, the roving clans and Samatanda are going to win the game simultaneously on science, but honestly, this game, it feels to me like we might even see, or in this version of this game, we might even see a dust victory before that happens. They're gaining like 8% per turn. Yeah, this one's over, y'all. Not even with all of the luck could we pull it off. Okay, you're dead. Right, it's the eclipse. What was I thinking? Cool, more hostile ships. All sea ruins spawn hostile ships. Go this way very fast. Yeah, so 9 turns. 9 turns is insufficient, I think. But worth noting, this would be a sub-turn 100 victory. And that's, I guess actually we should, if we don't need to buy out stockpiles anymore, if we're like on a good run of stockpiles, then yeah, we can spend money here just expanding the city and maybe pulling out enough industry to get 1 more turn off the timer. Be a pretty big gain, I imagine, but it could happen. In theory, it could happen. So yeah, this is actually like, this is a really, really good victory pace for us. But like I said, I think Blue's going to win the game in a second here, and I think that even if we prevented Blue from winning the game on Dust, Blue and the Draken are both legitimate victory threats off of Science, and I think that's 3 different victories that are going to occur before we could win our game. So, is this going to be possible? I don't think so. I don't think there's any way. Well, I mean, sorry. Let me clarify. I don't think there's any. Really, we've already searched all. We're getting this weird bug again. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, they're just gonna blow up all my fortresses. Nothing I can do about that. But also, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's close. That said, if Blue wins, as things stand now, we do still kind of win. But yeah, to be clear, the thing I'm saying is not that there's no way that we could win any game of Endless Legend on this difficulty under these conditions. It's just that I don't think there's any version of this where we could roll back to an earlier point in this game and win. Even if we did want to try to like abuse it and get it, you know, whatever we have to do to generate better luck, basically. So could we have gotten much time off of this victory? Maybe. I feel like we were pushing on the victory, the quest the whole time, right? There weren't really any breaks in our faction quest progress. So feels to me like we might not be able to get this particular victory strategy going all that much more quickly. We finished the faction quest and then would have won the game like, what, 12 turns later? And we were at pretty much maximum gas the whole time. So we might have to pursue a different move. I think that it's going to be very difficult to meaningfully affect... Okay, can't really care about that, but just worth pointing out, blue is also going to win the game in this way. I don't know that it's really feasible for us to try to affect the outcome of one of these games through military play. We could potentially put down one person, right? Did I get got? My spy was unnoticed. Cool. Take that, nerd. All right. Well, the Draken won't win this time, although I think that was already true. Am I allowed to? Yes, I am allowed to go steal your pearls. Give me these. Yoink. Ah, it is I. I am the monster. And then the fleeing. Then the fleeing begins. So yeah, pearl stockpiles. I think there's a lot of moves here that were like basically right. Yeah, you know. Shame I can't buy more than one district per turn. Here, a little bit of food stockpile. We could blow out a pearl stockpile pretty easily. It's not gonna matter. I guess, you know, more science out of the capital is something. Look at how good this city is. Look at how powerful it has become. You don't really have a play, unfortunately. You're just gonna kind of hang around and be cool. It is a shame you're not allowed to pour dust into the into the temple. I mean, obviously, if players were allowed to do that, it would benefit the AI way more than it would benefit us. But like I was saying, sorry, I get distracted easily. I do not think that it's really going to be... Yeah, jeez. What turn was that? We're going into turn 93, it looks like. Oof. Well, even faster. I don't know that I believe that we're going to be able to meaningfully slow down the victory player in an 8-player game with military stuff on this difficulty and everything. Because I think that the best case scenario for that is like we slow one person down, but like this game's a really good example of there's no version of this where we military our way out of both blue and the Draken beating us. And if we earlier in the game have at our neighbor and whatever, we're knocking them out of victory contention, but the player on the other side of them who feasts off of the rest of their weakness, or a player on another landmass or something, is just going to be causing the same problems for us. We can't really solve this problem just by beating up one person. So we would have to have like an all-encompassing military reign of terror, which can sometimes happen. I would argue that that is basically what happened in our necrophage game. I do not think necrophages are going to work on this difficulty. Or we just have to do something like this, but more so. We have to get a victory that we can push for even faster, because it seems like early 90s is the time. Sheesh. Our name was on that though. That was a second order victory for us, so worth noting. Turn 99, just insufficient. Okay, well, that's going to be where we call it for today. And I might... Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to probably... So I'm in the midst of preparing for a move. And also some other things are happening. I don't know if you are aware of the state the world's in right now. But I think what I'm gonna do is this is stressful and I want to break, and I think I want to avoid potentially burning out or anything here. So I think what I'm gonna do is say no more Endless Legend this week. Next week we will come back with a plan. We'll give this a couple more goes. I'm not ready to give up just yet, even though it is looking really bad from the results of this game. But also I just want to do some other stuff. I just want to play around in some lighter spaces. This game requires a lot of intellectual focus that I don't always have. So come back next week for some more Endless Legend. We're going to get this figured out, or we're going to figure out that I don't think I'm going to be able to figure out. We're going to come to one of those conclusions. And in the meantime, there are still going to be videos for the rest of the week. It's just going to be different stuff. Maybe stuff with a somewhat lighter tone, stuff that demands less of me mentally. So yeah, come back for that, and we'll see you then.